Because speed is one of the most important aspects of raising your round, I would ask an investor what information we need for the investment to close. We can basically start the process of closing that deal, and do that sooner than later. Don't wait until you get a final answer. And that way, when the final answer does come in, it's just a formality and all of the paperwork is in place. For us, we decided to raise our seed round using convertible notes. And this is a very popular investment vehicle now, especially within the YC community. And I think it's a great way to do investments. It's very fast. It's very affordable for startups. And we used Clerky. They have the paperwork right there on their website, so you can use the exact same paperwork that pretty much all Y Combinator companies use. And it costs $100 for you to do a convertible note investment.
Another thing that we found really useful during our fundraising was to have a slide deck prepared. A lot of folks had told us, hey, don't take these seed round meetings very formally, come in with a slide deck, just have a conversation. But what we found in our conversations is that we'd get stuck on a random rat hole. People would spend 30 minutes talking about this tiny aspect of our product that we weren't even necessarily going to do. And so a slide deck really helps focus that conversation. So if someone asks you a question that you don't want to answer right now, it's very easy for you to say, hey, that's coming in slide 9, and answer that question later after you've built up more context.
For your deck, I really recommend keeping it very short and simple. So let's use an example. Say you have 10 slides. I wouldn't have more than 10 slides, by the way. Take the number of slides and multiply it by 5. And so in total, the number of words that are actually in your presentation shouldn't be more than 50 words in this particular case. And I think that's really important because investors are very busy. They're seeing a lot of deals, and you want to make sure that you're able to convey what you're doing very quickly and as simply as possible. In this particular case, less is definitely more. You want to have some stats around the market that may surprise investors. So in our particular case, it was very few people actually realized how popular gameplay recording is online. And so we would start a lot of our presentations with, hey, did you realize that 250 million people are watching video game content every month? There's been a lot of talk recently around whether you should do a party round. And a party round means that you take investments from a lot of folks. We had a party round here at Kamcord, and we're actually really, really happy that we did that. It means that we took money from a lot of different angel investors that may not have invested that much, but the reason that's been helpful is that our business is really built around having a network, and we have to have a strong network to be able to get into more and more games. That is hard to do when you only have 2 or 3 investors. They're going to only have so many people that they know. So there is no rule, right? I think you can have a party round and still be a very successful startup. For some reason, there's a negative connotation with having a party round, and I think for every company, it's a different story. Sometimes you only want a few investors that are really there, with you in the trenches, day in and day out. And for other companies, you need a broader network. And so it's important to evaluate what's going to be important to you. And that, by the way, is going to probably evolve over time. You may, for us, we needed to build a strong network in the early days. We now have that network. So over time, we're going to be looking for investors that can invest more money, give us more time, and build a deeper relationship with. One of the previous episodes we talked about resiliency, and I definitely think with the fundraising process, the peaks and valleys are even higher. And so resiliency is of the utmost importance when you're going through the fundraising process. You're going to have days where someone commits, then an hour later someone will say, hey, we thought about it, we're not going to be able to be a part of this round. And a lot will come back and say, no, I don't want to be a part of the deal this time. And that's fine. You should definitely hear them out, hear their feedback, understand why they don't want to be a part of the deal, and use that as an opportunity to learn. And don't take it personally. The reality is that for every yes, you're probably going to get 3, 5, or 10 no's.